Shakira, Shakira.
Yo, when she was that gazelle, though, bro.
What?
When she was that gazelle in Zootopia, bro.
Damn. Number one animated animal I'd bang is Shakira as Gazelle in Zootopia.
Gnarly.
Top 10 list of animated animals I'd bang. Number 10. Gazelle from Zootopia.
Welcome to Couch Lock, your number one movie podcast. If you haven't yet, please like, follow, and subscribe everywhere at Couch Lock Pod, because we are about to lock it in. Today, we've decided to go a little further back in time and talk about one of our childhood favorites. I guess for me, this was Mike's first time watching it, and we're excited to take a little bit of a deeper dive into Hook. 1991, Steven Spielberg releases to the world Hook, starring Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman. A bit of a twist on that traditional story. Right out the gate, Mike, I was curious. How'd you feel?
It was pretty good. I'd say I'd give it like out of 10, which is a very scientific number that I've decided on.
Okay.
I would give it probably like a 7.
Oh, okay. I that's better than I thought. That's better than I thought we were gonna get out of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a bit of a far stray from that original story, right? Like, we're experiencing the idea of, well, what if the one boy that never could grow up did grow up? And in this case, he's grown up to be like this really like curmudgeon-y, like work-focused lawyer who doesn't really make time for his kids or his wife, and now he's been put in this situation where he's forced to remember his childhood where he was Peter Pan because Hook has kidnapped the kiddos. Hook, yes. The performances in this movie, I think, are part of like that magic sauce, and there's so many big wig actors in this. Were there any performances that you really liked, or what did you think? Any that you disliked?
Yeah, I mean, Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook stole the show for me, for sure. Oh, man.
And, of course, in Dustin Hoffman's style, like, he was very much Hook on set. The kid that played Rufio, Dante Basco, Dante Brasco was basically like, yeah, he was very like hostile at first towards me while we were filming, and his acting coach was like, yeah, it's because like Rufio and Hook are not friends. Like, you need to like give in like you were Rufio. Like, how would Rufio respond in that? So Dante started doing that with Dustin Hoffman on set, and after that, he says that Dustin Hoffman actually really kind of took him under his wing and helped coach him through some of the more difficult scenes, including that death scene at the very end, right?
Very cool. That's an awesome story. I did not put that. I didn't know that Dustin Hoffman was like that. I didn't know he was method.
Oh yeah, he's got some pretty hardcore stories. Like, if you listen to his like this shit he did to Meryl Streep was kind of crazy.
Oh, I think we have talked a little bit about that before, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we have, because it's one of the more crazy instances of like, Meryl Streep's boyfriend had recently passed away, and Dustin Hoffman was just saying like horrible things about him to her to like,
oh wow,
evoke like a bad emotion right before they would start scenes, and like he did like hurl a glass past her head without like really telling her that would happen before action was called. So like he's got some pretty intense situations with his co-stars. Right. I'm happy to hear that the situation with Dante like kind of smoothed over, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. How did you feel about Robin Williams? Because for a lot of people, he was the saving grace of this film.
Really, I thought he was great. I mean, you gotta love Robin Williams. I feel like it was just kind of him at what he does best. which is cool. I really liked how I liked seeing his transformation into the kid version of himself. I was really impressed with how star-studded the cast actually is with all the big names, with Bob Hoskins as well.
Oh, yes.
I really
Smee.
loved the costumes and set design. That was all just insane to look at.
Hell yeah. I feel like that's probably why this movie has stood the test of time the way it has, because a lot of those like themes of like dad ignores family for work is like, we've seen that story told a billion times. Yeah. But in the same way that like you go to like a cool amusement park and the like just the feel of it like really puts you in that universe, I feel like the way they built those sets out, like those were all completely built out sets. The pirate ship they made for Captain Hook is one of the largest set ships ever built.
Oh wow.
And it was all built on the same sound stages that The Wizard of Oz was filmed on. That's kind of cool.
Oh, interesting. That is cool. Yeah, you could tell that the art direction and the colors and the set design just like it was so inspired, and just it was actually so inspired that the set was crawling with stars that weren't even in the movie because they wanted to stop by and look at what was going on. It was like Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg, Michelle Pfeiffer, Mel Gibson, and Prince stopped by to like take a look at what was going on there.
I saw somewhere
like
that
the biggest director with the biggest budget spent on sets, or one of the most expensive sets ever built, and then like just all the word of mouth around it was just insane.
I know it had like such big hype, so it's crazy that when it finally did come out, it kind of flopped, right? Like it's a bummer because I feel like it needed to age a little bit so that the nostalgia feeling that you experience while watching it makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, I could feel the nostalgia watching it, even though I didn't watch it as a kid.
Yeah, it's just like that. It just reminds you of a period of storytelling and just like Steven Spielberg, like in his element of just like fantasy, like exciting adventure, right?
Yeah, getting it as much money as he can, as like the studio will give him, and just doing something crazy with it.
Oh, 100%. And it's even said that this was like an attempt for like them to make an argument that blank check movie making was still an okay thing for production companies to do, right? Because like,
oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, films coming out prior to this had kind of been flopping, even though the production companies have been dumping a bunch of money into them. So they're like, all right, Steven, we need to get to work on this. Please don't make us sad. And it kind of did. But you look at like the people that were surrounding this movie, and it's insane the amount of talent, right? Steven Spielberg brings a certain group of people with him no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, of course, we have John Williams doing the score. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say the score was great. That was a very enjoyable part. There was a bunch of moments that I listened. I was hearing the music.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I could definitely tell it was very inspired. The music, at least, it definitely felt unique to that world. There's
so many great themes in the sound design of this film. And, like, I was wondering if you had a favorite.
It's kind of funny. It's both my least favorite and my favorite scene. The scene where he's talking to Tinkerbell, and it's like his big face, and then she's inside of her house, and I really loved that style of that shot. But then the scene itself, I really wasn't huge on. Oh
yeah, I feel you. Like the whole like pixie, like little pixie room. It's so cool, and they capture like that whimsical vibe really well right then. But Tink is just kind of cringy in this one for me. Yeah. I didn't feel that way as a kid, but watching it back as an adult now, I'm kind of like, wow, you were really obsessed.
Tink's a little homewrecker, man.
Yeah, what's going on there? Like, come on.
Another thing I really loved was your introduction to the Lost Boys. It was just like, wow, crazy. It definitely felt very like skater kid.
Yeah.